All right, chef, so what's gonna be next?
So we're gonna do a series of pickles. I guess the first one we'll start with is kind of a quick pickle on some red onions that we're gonna use later on for our cured salmon dish. So what we do is we salt the onions a little bit of sugar as well. We're gonna mix these up fairly well. I like to spice them up a little bit with a little bit of chili flake and some bay leaf. And then we're going to add, this is a mixture of water and white vinegar. So we're gonna add a little bit of this.
I imagine this really helps on efficiency, being able to do it all at once for all the different dishes.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something you can prep ahead of time. You know, you can have one of your guys come in and do pickles for 3 weeks at a time. Cuts down on space.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, a lot of space.
Cuts down the space in your walk-in. You don't have giant Lexans or larger containers. You know, you can.
Why'd you take that out?
Vacuum seal these bags. So you need to remove this whenever you're vacuuming any liquid.
Okay.
Kind of just give a little more height. Make it a little harder for that liquid to climb up and get out of your bag.
Of course.
So we're gonna vacuum this up. You'll be able to see it kind of looks like it's frying in there almost, and that's all the air being removed from the onions. The liquid kind of bubbles, which helps on the infusion as it closes.
Interesting. So it's almost like it's air. Yep. Wow.
So now we have a seal, and the sugar and salts will dissolve in here, create a pickling marinade.
How long will those stay in?
These we'll let sit like this for 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
We'll use them, but you can leave them in for weeks.
Oh, so they turn around pretty quickly.
Yeah, this is, yeah, because we don't want to completely pickle them all the way. We still want a little bit of crunch. We just kind of want to marinate them and cut back on that raw onion flavor. So then we could do a classic. You can do a classic, you know, dill pickle for your sandwiches if you're serving sandwiches in your restaurant. You know, again, salt and sugar, vinegar and water are the base to all pickling liquids.
Yep.
Your spices, it depends on what you're going for. We like to put a little garlic in our pickles, some dill as well. Again, just a small amount of chili.
Nice, making me
kind
hungry.
Of liven it up a little bit. And then our pickling liquid, which again, we use white vinegar and a little bit of water to cut back the harshness of the vinegar.
So tell me again what it does when it first goes in there. You were talking about how it kind of boils the vegetable a little bit?
Well, that's just the air being removed. So you can actually see the process of the air being removed. So it's not boiling it. There's no heat involved. It just kind of creates this effect, right?
Cool.
Which you know, opens up the meat or the vegetable or the fish. Kind of sucks the air out, but then when it closes, it's forcing whatever is in the bag into the vegetable or fruit or meat or fish.
So I imagine it helps bring some flavors out too.
Right, as you can see, the pickles have actually kind of changed the color already. They've gotten darker because that's the liquid being forced into them right away. So it speeds the process up of pickling. It helps the extraction of the flavors of the garlic and herbs. So you kind of just have this instant extraction in your liquid. So you have a much more flavorful brine, so to speak, pickling liquid.
So how long will those stay?
You know, these in a restaurant, we would do them, and you can leave them for weeks. You know, they're not going bad because they're sealed. They're not consuming any space.
So you can really do a ton at one time.
Right. As far as prep, you can come in one day and
like once a month or so.
Knock it out for a few weeks. Absolutely.
That's great.
And then you don't have to worry about pickles every day.
Yeah.